On September 17, 1992, 14-year-old Misty Copsey asked her mother if she could go to the Washington State Fair. Although she was hesitant with letting her go without a guaranteed transportation home, she agreed to let Misty go after she promised to catch the bus back. The fair had went as planned, and after enjoying rides and hanging out with friends, Misty realized that she had missed the last bus. With no bus available, she called her mother at work from a payphone. Misty suggested calling one of her 18-year-old friends to pick her up, and her mother rejected this idea, instructing her to call other friends for a ride and to let her know who's bringing her. Misty agreed and hung up. When she couldn't secure another ride home, she faced a difficult decision. Her friend lived just a mile and a half down the road and had planned to walk. Her and Misty parted ways, and Misty decided to begin the long journey home, which would take hours. She never arrived and was never seen again. As the investigation unfolded, conflicted accounts emerged. Police discovered that Misty's friend hadn't walked home that night. She had received a ride from her 23-year-old boyfriend, who had been previously accused of abducting an 11-year-old girl when he was 16. Charges were never filed. Police theorized that after dropping the friend off, the 23-year-old boyfriend may have returned to give Misty another ride, but after passing a polygraph test, he was dropped as a suspect. Investigators began to turn their attention back to Misty's 18-year-old male friend that she had asked her mom about. His story began to change under scrutiny. At first, he claimed that Misty had called, but he had refused to give her a ride because he didn't have enough gas. The next story was that after Misty had called back a second time, he had blacked out and had no memory of what he did afterwards. His next recollection was waking up the following morning at his grandmother's house, 45 minutes away. This new claim raised serious questions. He had supposedly refused to give Misty a ride due to insufficient gas, yet the round trip between his home and the fair would have required less fuel than the drive to his grandmother's. When asked to take a polygraph test, the results came back inconclusive, particularly on the question of whether he could have harmed Misty during a blackout. The disappearance of Misty Copsey remains one of Washington State's most perplexing cold cases. If you have any information on the disappearance of Misty Copsey, please contact the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. Jeannie Atkinson was at a turning point in her life during July 2012. At the time, the 31-year-old was living in Brigham City, Utah, with her 12-year-old son. Jeannie had completed a rehabilitation program after several years of drug addiction. It appeared that she was working towards providing a better life for both her and her son. Unfortunately, before Jeannie's life could continue to progress, she vanished. Jeannie was last seen alive on July 17, 2012, when she dropped her son off at a sleepover with friends. She did not return the next morning to pick her son up as planned. Over the next few days, her family members attempted to contact her, but all of their calls and texts went unanswered. Jeannie was reported missing by her father on July 23, 2012. A few weeks later, on August 10, 2012, a group of kids spotted a body while hiking and camping at the Dock Flat Campground in Mantua. Police were called and the remains were recovered from the bottom of a steep ravine. The remains were later identified as that of Jeannie Atkinson. Her vehicle was parked a few hundred yards away. Jeannie's loved ones do not believe that she went to the location where her body was found on her own. According to her father, the roads up to the campground are rough, and it seems unlikely that she would drive her small vehicle there by herself. Jeannie had cerebral palsy and walked with a limp, so it is unlikely she would be able to make it down a steep ravine. Due to her body's decomposition, authorities were unable to determine her exact cause of death. Police stated that her body had no obvious signs of trauma. Jeannie's death is being investigated as a homicide. If you have any information that could help solve Jeannie's case, please contact the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. Sarah Burton was last seen in Joplin, Missouri on July 17, 2018. A friend had dropped her off on Range Line Road where Sarah had planned to walk home from there. The last sighting of her was at a residence in northwest Joplin. Her friend that dropped her off contacted Sarah's parents a few days later because she had left her purse and one shoe in the friend's car. Her parents reported her missing on July 20th. Sarah last saw her parents 9 days before her disappearance. Her father had bought her a car and put tags on it. However, she had wrecked the car on July 11th. Her parents think that Sarah may have been avoiding them while she tried to figure out what to do. Burton had been a good student in high school, even becoming a cheerleader, but after graduation she had struggled with methamphetamine addiction and served a term in prison on a drug charge. She tried to turn her life around after her release, but continued to struggle with drugs and had a troubled relationship with the father of her 2 sons. At the time of her disappearance, she was living with her parents and they were trying to get her into a long-term drug treatment program. She was free on bail on drug possession charges, but she had been making all of her court appearances, and her attorney thought she may have been able to get a suspended sentence. Her parents don't believe she would have run away because of these legal problems. The circumstances of Sarah's disappearance are unclear, and this case remains unsolved. If you have any information on the disappearance of Sarah Burton, please contact the Joplin Police Department. Jonathan Carter was an outgoing, funny 15-year-old boy who loved to make everyone laugh. Most of the time, you could find Jonathan outside playing with his brothers. He loved playing football and skateboarding. Unfortunately, on July 6, 2016, Jonathan Carter was shot and killed near his home in Jacksonville, Florida. The shooting occurred around 4:45 a.m. after some sort of altercation had taken place. After detectives arrived, neighbors had stated that they had heard a woman screaming and then a shot rang out, with the suspect fleeing from the scene. Questioning friends that Jonathan was hanging out with, police discovered that he had been shot just a short period after being dropped off a few blocks away from his house. Jonathan's mother did not know that her son had snuck out of the house and had to wake up to the devastating news that he had been murdered. Losing Jonathan has impacted the entire family. His grandfather had heart failure after Jonathan's murder, and the siblings are still struggling with the loss. Those with information can contact Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Jonathan Carter's case remains unsolved. Vernon Davis grew up in Smithville, Texas, a small town where everyone knew everyone. He faced challenges and was influenced by untrustworthy people in his youth. Vernon later turned a corner, earning his GED, obtaining a commercial driver's license, and had become a devoted father to twin sons. On July 15, 2013, Vernon didn't call his sister, and this was unusual because they talked daily. She tried calling him but couldn't reach him and sent their uncle over to check. Their uncle found Vernon dead in his duplex home with head injuries under suspicious circumstances. Detectives investigated the scene, recovering DNA. But despite this, along with tips and interviews, no arrests were made and leads went cold. His family describes him as always helping others if he could. Even though Vernon had struggled in the past, he had become an independent man who took care of his family, playing ball with his sons or even taking them out for ice cream. Vernon Davis was a kind-hearted man. His murder remains unsolved. If you have any information, contact the Smithville Police Department. You can remain anonymous. You could help bring justice to a family that's waited too long. Thank you for watching True Crime. Please like and subscribe.